Failure to do this leads to worsening skin and health, and my 3-step protocol to loving the skin you're in. My name's Dayna Hrovath with Fountain Mills Functional Wellness, and today we're talking all about psoriasis. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what psoriasis is, it's an autoimmune condition that affects the skin, can also affect the nails, the joints, and as well as other areas internally, can make us more prone to heart disease and diabetes and certain types of cancer like lymphoma. So there are different types of psoriasis. Most people are familiar with plaque psoriasis, which are the spots that you see on people's elbows and knees most commonly, but that it can affect anywhere on the skin. And depending on the skin tone, it can look a little bit different. It can look very red with white scales on top, or it can look purpley brown, darkened area with rougher top on it. Then there are types of psoriasis that affects the skin folds, and there's types of psoriasis that create little tiny coin-shaped spots that spread all over the body. And there's a type of psoriasis that more affects the palms and the soles, and that can be so very painful, causing cracks and bleeding. And psoriasis just really affects people's lives. It makes them feel self-conscious because not everyone knows what they have is not contagious. It can make them want to hide, not want to wear shorts and t-shirts when it's the summer. Heck, definitely don't want to get in a bathing suit because everyone's going to look at you. It makes you feel uncomfortable with starting relationships. It can make people just sore and achy, and it's difficult to get down on the floor and play with their kids, make them tired and worn out. And if they're having a good period of time where their skin is pretty clear, they're just waiting. Oh no, when's the next flare-up gonna hit me? So psoriasis is something that is chronic, long-term, and there are different conventional medicine treatments out there that a lot of people have tried, from creams that can be messy and sometimes they can sting and they can offer some benefit, but truly don't really get things cleared with lasting clearance. And then you have options of UV light, which can help, but also if you're going regularly either into the tanning beds or the UV beds that you get, or stand-up booths that are at doctor's offices, those things increase your risk for skin cancer over time. And then there are pills that have a variety of different side effects, including being hard on the liver, suppressing your immune system, increasing your risk for all kinds of health risks. And then the most aggressive treatment out there in conventional medicine that people are given are what are called biologics, which are shots that people end up giving themselves or sometimes go into the doctor's office for. And those do help people. People get a lot of great results with them, but to what end? You're on these shots for the rest of your life. They're expensive. They're suppressing your immune system. So you're more at risk for infections and sometimes cancer, depending on the type of biologic you're on. And the side effect list can go on and on, depending on which medication. So as a dermatology PA, I had been prescribing all of these for years, and I wanted to offer my psoriasis patients something different. And so I'm creating this educational program that's available to anyone, and this is going to help you support your own body, which is the failure that I was talking about earlier. The failure is when we only address the skin. If we ignore what's going on inside, we're not going to get the results that we need. We need to suppress that inflammation that's going on. So it's best to treat your body holistically. And not only do we need to worry about our physical body, but we also need to worry about supporting our mind and our spirit. So with my 3-step protocol, we focus on 3 big areas, and they're the 3 C's. So we want to calm the gut, and we want to clean out toxins, and we want to clear effects of stress. So those are 3 big areas that can really set our body up for psoriasis. Stress is like pouring water into a vase. Our body is the vase, and you can only fill that vase up so far before you bubble over. And stress can be all kinds of things. Stress can be illness. Stress can be in our relationships. Stress can be our job. Stress can be parenting. Stress can be just being too busy and having too much on our plate. So we want to work on stress reduction activities. We can't eliminate stress from our lives. That's just not realistic. So we need to find ways to keep that vase from pouring over. So we talk about different ways that can help. Also want to avoid stressful people, stressful situations, and the more we're surrounded by supportive people who enhance our lives, the better. And so a supportive community is great. It's great to have people around you who get what you're going through. It's great to have people around you who want to support your lifestyle changes that you're about to embark on rather than mock you for them. So psoriasis also can be worsened by toxins, or that's also one reason that people can get psoriasis is a buildup of toxins in their system. So you want to avoid giving your body even more toxins. So things that are in our personal care products, from our lotions to our shampoos to our toothpaste to anything that is going to touch our body. From our household toxins, laundry detergents, dryer sheets, fabric softeners, your cleaning products around the house, what you're washing your dishes with. I mean, the list goes on and on. Environmental toxins, the things that you're putting on your lawn out back, that affects us. Even your EMF exposure can be an environmental toxin to you. And there's just so many things that we'll address in trying to decrease as much toxins as you can, because there's toxins that are around us in our environment that we're just not going to get away from. So if we can control what we can control, that's so much better for us. Now, to calm the gut, we focus on the 5 R's. We want to remove, we want to replace, we want to reinoculate, repair, and rebalance. And we go into detail with all of that. But just generically speaking, we want to make sure we're supporting our digestion as much as possible, because there's a huge connection between our gut and our skin. If our gut isn't happy, our skin won't be happy. So it's super important to remove the things that are producing inflammation in our body. And there's a whole list of them, but the number 1 is gluten. And you don't need to have celiac disease to need to remove gluten from your diet. So some people can't tolerate gluten because it's an autoimmune reaction to it, but sometimes people can't just digest it well due to the lectin content that's in gluten. So if you're not familiar with gluten, it is in wheat, and there are other things similar like barley and malt, but wheat is a big one. So your typical breads, pastas, cakes, cookies, things along those lines. We want to replace the things that we need. We need to have probiotics, which are the good bacteria to help crowd out the bad bacteria that are getting caught up in our gut. And sometimes we need to replace some digestive enzymes and some acid to help the stomach digest things like protein much easier. And that also comes in with the re-inoculate with the pre and probiotics. And then repair, we want to do different things to help just repair our gut lining. So a lot of times we get what's called leaky gut, and so the things and the molecules and the food that we're digesting, instead of staying in our gut, we have this open area that part of it is seeping through, and that creates our immune system to want to come and attack those and just stirs everything up. So we want to repair that lining, get it nice and tight so it's not leaky anymore. Think of like a brick wall with crumbling mortar. We need to repair that brick and mortar. And then rebalance, and that comes back to stress and not stressing out our gut. We want to eat slowly and in a happy environment. Sit down and enjoy your food. Don't just try to inhale your food. But these are all just ways that we focus on helping support your body so that the immune system and the inflammation that is aggravating your psoriasis can calm, and then your skin will follow suit and calm down as well. Sometimes it's good to get some testing done, so that can kind of point you in a direction of things that above and beyond what we just talked about that can be an issue for you. So genetics can play a role in psoriasis. A lot of people, it runs in their family. They can point back, oh, you know, this person, they all had psoriasis. And unfortunately, they often think, well, it runs in my family, so I'm stuck with it. But that's not the case. You don't need to be. We also want to look at getting a CSAP, which is a digestion test. It's a stool test, and it can tell you if you're out of balance with your good guys versus bad guys as far as bacteria goes. And there's a lot of other information that it can give you. Food intolerance testing can be very helpful also, so you can find out specific foods that are aggravating your own inflammatory reaction in your body. And those are things that sometimes hard to figure out just on your own, because that reaction can last for 3 or so days. So a food that you had 3 days ago might be giving you your issue now. So it's not always an immediate reaction. And also looking at a hair test that can look at your levels of your vitamins and your toxic load, can give you a lot of information of places that you need to help support your body so that your future looks brighter and brighter and you can love the skin you're in. So for more information on the Psoriasis Solution Program, where we address those 3 C's in the protocol, make sure to follow us on Instagram at FMF Wellness or on Facebook at Fountain Mills Functional Wellness. And you'll be kept up to date with everything that's going on with the program, as well as more information that can help support you in your journey. Hope you have a great day.